Have Spurs just signed the next Petr Cech? Tottenham have made their first signing of the January transfer window, bringing in 21-year-old goalkeeper Antonín Kinský from Slavia Prague for £12.5 million. Typical Tottenham, always leaving their business till the last minute, eh? With Guglielmo Vicario injured until late February, it was imperative that Spurs address the goalkeeper situation in this window, with Fraser Forster, despite starting well in the absence of Vicario, looking less and less convincing by the game. Not many people would have heard of Antonín Kinský before Saturday morning when the rumours first started to swirl around Spurs social media, but in this video I'm going to tell you exactly why Tottenham have signed him and why he's the perfect option to compete with Guglielmo Vicario. Before we get into this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. We are well on the march to 10,000 subscribers. We're currently on around 8,000 and we're on track to get there before the end of January. There's going to be a lot of content throughout the January transfer window, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Nice one. I'll be honest, like all of you, I'd never heard of Antonín Kinský before Saturday morning, but the more you read about him, the more you watch him, you get the feeling that Spurs might have signed a future goalkeeping gem here. Kinský is in great company as FT Talent Scout named him in the European Under-21 team of the first half of the season alongside Florian Wirtz, Lamine Yamal, Jamal Musiala and Milos Kerkez. Tottenham's director Johan Lang identified Kinský initially through data algorithms, and then scouts were sent to watch the 21-year-old goalkeeper in the Europa League while playing for Slavia Prague. Kinský's stats for Slavia Prague this season are incredibly impressive and highlight exactly why Tottenham wanted to bring him in this January. No goalkeeper has had a better pass success rate in the Europa League so far this season than Kinský with 83%. So far this season in the Czech First League, Kinský has 12 clean sheets, an 83% save percentage, and he's won 100% of his aerial duels, showing a strong ability to come out and command his box. And when you look at his save percentage, his goals conceded per 90 and his clean sheet stats, he ranks first amongst all other goalkeepers in Europe's top 10 leagues for these metrics this season. So impressive. Last season, when on loan at FK Pardubice from Slavia Prague, he was rated the highest goalkeeper in the Czech First Division. He also ranked in the 100th percentile for prevented goals, 100th percentile for line exits, 99th percentile for aerial duels, 93rd percentile for passes completed. And when you compare him to other goalkeepers in the Czech First Division last season, he ranked first for goals prevented, first for passes, first for long passes, first for through passes, first for aerial duels, first for exits, second for save percentage, second for short passes, second for passes into the final third, second for passes into the penalty area, and second for tackles. And last season, out of any goalkeeper in Europe's top 7 leagues, no keeper prevented more goals than him or made more exits off his line. He is the definition of a modern goalkeeper. And that ability to play as a sweeper keeper has translated to Slavia Prague. This season he has a 100% successful run-out rate, which is going to be incredibly helpful with Tottenham's high line. He's not just quick off his line to sweep up though, he's quick off his line to make saves and often makes himself big and very hard to beat in 1v1 situations. There are countless examples of this in the compilations that a lot of people would have seen over the last few days. But the most key attribute of Kinský's game that can make him a real success at Tottenham is that ability to play with the ball at his feet. He is literally the definition of a modern goalkeeper, and his calmness under pressure and his willingness to make brave decisions with the ball at his feet will only endear him to Ange Postecoglou, and that is exactly why they signed him. I said at the start of the video, Spurs might have bagged themselves the next Petr Cech given his Czech Republic origin. However, one anonymous Bundesliga scout told The Athletic that Kinský reminds them of Manuel Neuer, saying he has a presence and gives off a sense of not being afraid. Again, Ange will love that. It's also the variety in his distribution that catches the eye when watching Kinský. Yes, he's happy to play out from the back, but he is not afraid to be direct either, and the technical quality on some of his long passing in the clips that have been doing the rounds on social media in the last few days are astounding. Teams will press him because he's a young goalkeeper new to the Premier League, and they'll know his long-range distribution is a huge asset, but he's cool under pressure and often gets himself out of difficult situations with ease when he's closed down. There's no doubt Kinský will make mistakes at Spurs, right? It's bound to happen. Any goalkeeper, whether you're really good with your feet or not, will make mistakes playing out from the back at some point. It's the nature of the beast. It's the risk-reward nature of playing out from the back. But the thing I like the most about Kinský when it comes to playing out from the back is that I don't think it would faze him if he did make a mistake, and that's the thing that will endear him to Ange Postecoglou the most. He wants his goalkeeper to be brave. They don't have to be the most technically secure on the ball, as long as they're making brave decisions that could benefit you when playing out from the back. You don't have to be the most technically secure. Guglielmo Vicario isn't the most technically secure goalkeeper, but he knows exactly the type of passes that Ange Postecoglou wants him to play, and exactly the sort of patterns that Spurs want to execute when playing out from the back. A lot of people will say, well, it's all well and good him being able to play with his feet, but what about his shot-stopping ability? Well, I'll tell you about that too. Some of the saves that I've seen Kinský pull off from close range are remarkable. His reaction time looks like a real strength, and there are countless impressive close-range saves you can watch in these compilations. compilations. Also from distance as well, he's a good shot stopper, but the ones from close range stand out even more. He's prevented 2.74 goals so far in the Czech First Division this season and averages 1.9 saves per game. One weakness I'd potentially identify about Kinský from what I've seen is that he does often parry shots. However, it is hard to really identify what his weaknesses may be when you're looking at compilations when you've just signed a player that are only really designed to show what his strengths are. You're only watching compilations that are going to show the best of him. That is the nature of it. That's what happens when you sign a new player. However, the good thing is there's no real footage of any errors that he's made leading to a goal or anything like that. So that is one thing that can encourage Spurs fans. As mentioned earlier, with that aerial success rate, he seems very confident commanding his box and coming out to collect, which will be a real plus with Spurs fans, given the fact that we tend to have our hearts in our mouths anytime we concede a corner. In fact, he's not conceded a single goal so far from a corner this season, so Spurs fans don't worry about that too much. That's pretty much all there is to say on Kinský as a goalkeeper, but I think for Tottenham it's a good step in the right direction in terms of our goalkeeping situation. Brandon Austin was excellent in the circumstances on debut on Saturday, but I'm not sure he'll be part of the long-term plan. However, he is homegrown, so he could be the third choice backup next season, with Forster likely to leave in the summer. We've also got Josh Keeley and Luka Gunter coming through the ranks as well, so our goalkeeping position is very much under control now for the future. Keeley will likely make the step up to the Championship next season after impressing at Leyton Orient, and it's probably a good opportunity for Luka Gunter to head out on his first loan as well. So the last question is, when is he going to make his debut? When asked if he could make his debut against Liverpool this week, Kinský said, "I'll prepare to be ready, and if the coach decides to point to me, I'll be ready. I feel great. I'm calm in my head." That confidence is something that should really encourage and excite Spurs fans, because as a goalkeeper, you've got to back yourself, especially as a young goalkeeper that is coming to the Premier League, especially as a goalkeeper that relies so much on playing out from the back, playing with his feet. That's a big part of his game. You have to be confident. However, he is unlikely to make his debut against Liverpool this week as his work permit hasn't arrived yet, so he could make his debut against Tamworth at the weekend and then could make his Premier League debut against Arsenal in the North London derby at the Emirates next Wednesday. For £12.5 million, I don't think you can criticise Spurs at all for making this signing. We've potentially secured one of the best young goalkeepers in Europe for a snip. I'm incredibly happy with how early we got him over the line. Signing a new goalkeeper in January was incredibly imperative. I think when you look at the goalkeeping situation, I think a lot of us wanted to sign someone that can actually compete with Guglielmo Vicario. That's why the signing of Sam Johnson didn't excite anybody last week, despite the fact that he's not a bad goalkeeper. They've essentially done what I thought we would maybe do in the summer now, which is really positive. We're being proactive and we need to do more, and hopefully there is more business to come. And if there is more business to come, which I'm sure there will be, and I think there could be very soon, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a video. I will be doing this with any player that Spurs bringing in January, or any player that there are significant rumours with. Again, with Johan Lang, it could happen all very quickly, so watch this space. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it as well, get involved in the comments, and up the Spurs. See you in the next one.